The alarm sounds. Before your eyes are fully open, your hand reaches for the phone. A message enters, then a notification, then the news, then someone else's opinion, then someone else's urgency. And before you have chosen a thought, a duty, or a standard, the outside world is already inside your mind. Most people do not lose command at noon. They surrender it in the first few minutes. The problem is not that they wake too late. The problem is that they begin the day in reaction. They check before they think. They consume before they choose. They wait for motivation before they move. And then they wonder why the rest of the day feels scattered. A Stoic morning is not about waking at 5. It is not about copying someone else's routine. It is not about turning the first hour into punishment. It is about one thing. Do not give the world your attention before you have commanded your own mind. This is the first field test of the day, and it begins before the world enters. The pressure. The modern morning is vulnerable because the mind is still unguarded. You are tired. Your judgment is not fully engaged. Your habits are automatic. And the phone offers immediate stimulation. It feels like you are waking yourself up. But often you are handing your attention to whatever reaches you first. A delayed message changes your mood. A work email creates urgency. A news alert creates anxiety. A social feed creates comparison. A video creates distraction. One check becomes 10 minutes. 10 minutes becomes 30. And now the day has begun with consumption instead of direction. This does not mean the phone is evil. The phone is a tool. But a tool becomes a commander when you use it without intention. The first pressure of the day is not your job. It is not your relationship. It is not your schedule. The first pressure is the impulse to begin without command. The Stoic Rule. The Stoic Rule is simple. Do not give the world your attention before you have commanded your own mind. You cannot control what waits in the inbox. You cannot control what happened overnight. You cannot control whether someone has good news, bad news, criticism, pressure, or demands for you. You cannot guarantee that the day will go according to plan, but you can prepare your attention. You can choose your first action. You can decide the standard you intend to carry. You can prepare for the pressure most likely to appear. This is what Stoic preparation looks like in modern life. Not controlling the day, preparing your conduct before the day tests it. The world may have demands, but those demands do not need to receive the first decision. The hidden trap. The hidden trap is waiting to feel disciplined before you act. You tell yourself, I need to wake up first. I need motivation. I will start after I check a few things. Today is already off, so I will try again tomorrow. But discipline does not begin when the feeling arrives. Discipline begins when the action happens before the feeling has been consulted. There is another trap, mistaking stimulation for readiness. You check the phone because it makes you feel awake. But being stimulated is not the same as being directed. You may be alert, but your attention already belongs to something else. The commanded morning begins differently. It does not ask, what do I feel like doing? It asks, what is the next action that proves I am in command? The protocol. This is the field protocol, the first hour command protocol. It can take 20 minutes. It can take 40 minutes. It can take a full hour. The exact time is not the point. The sequence is the point. 5 actions, 1 standard. The world does not enter until you have chosen how you will meet it. Step 1. Guard the gate. Do not begin with recreational phone use. No social media, no news, no random videos, no checking every message because one might be important. Keep the phone outside the bedroom if possible. Use a physical alarm if necessary. If the phone must be used for transportation, caregiving, safety, or essential work, open only what is required. Complete the task, then close it. Do not enter the feed. This works because the first information entering the mind often determines what the mind begins reacting to. Guarding the gate prevents urgency, comparison, and other people's priorities from taking control before you have established your own direction. It trains attention ownership. It trains impulse control. The commanded action is simple. Silence the alarm. Put the phone down. Stand up. Move to the next prepared action. Step 2. Establish the body. Stand upright. Drink water. Wash. Open the curtains or step into daylight. Take several controlled breaths. Move for 2 to 5 minutes. This is not necessarily a full workout. You do not need an extreme training session. You are creating a clean transition from sleep into deliberate action. A disordered physical state makes negotiation easier. You remain in bed. You bargain. You delay. You ask how you feel. Establishing the body ends the argument. It trains readiness. It trains posture. It trains the ability to act before enthusiasm appears. After poor sleep, reduce the intensity. Do not abandon the sequence. Stand, drink, wash, breathe, move. You are not trying to prove toughness. You are proving that discomfort does not receive command. Step 3. Write the day's command. Write 3 short lines. 1 duty, 1 standard, 1 expected pressure. Your duty is the most important responsibility you need to move forward today. Your standard is how you intend to conduct yourself. Your expected pressure is what will most likely test that standard. For example, duty, finish the proposal before noon. Standard, work without checking the phone every 10 minutes. Pressure, I may feel behind or receive criticism. Or duty, attend class prepared. Standard, stay engaged instead of drifting into distraction. Pressure, I may feel tired and want to avoid the difficult work. Do not create a huge list. This is not an administrative exercise. It is a command decision. The mind becomes less reactive when it already knows what matters and how it intends to meet pressure. This trains priority. It trains judgment. It trains the ability to connect values with conduct. Step 4. Rehearse the pressure. Choose one likely difficulty. Then decide the response before the difficulty arrives. Use this sentence. If this pressure appears, I will respond by, if I want to snooze again, I will put both feet on the floor before negotiating. If an urgent message arrives, I will read it once, identify the next action, and stop refreshing. If I feel unmotivated, I will begin for 10 minutes before reconsidering. If I receive criticism, I will pause before replying. This is not catastrophizing. You are not imagining every disaster. You are preparing for 1 or 2 realistic tests. Pressure is easier to carry when it is not a surprise. This trains foresight. It trains emotional steadiness. It trains the ability to follow a decision made in calm when emotion later asks for control. Step 5. Complete 1 productive action. Before you enter entertainment or aimless consumption, complete 1 useful action. It does not need to be dramatic. It does not need to be the hardest task in your life, and it should fit the life you actually live. Make a healthy breakfast and clean the kitchen afterward. Fold the laundry. Read 10 pages. Study for a class. Complete a lesson in a self-improvement program. Exercise. Take a walk. Walk the dog. Prepare food for later. Tidy the room you will return to. Pack what you need for work. Review the day before leaving the house. The action should be useful, manageable, and complete. This works because the first completed action gives the mind evidence. Evidence that you can begin without waiting for motivation. Evidence that your morning is not governed by distraction. Evidence that you keep small promises to yourself. It trains follow-through. It trains self-trust. It trains the habit of placing a standard before reward. Do not make this step so difficult that the routine collapses. The goal is not to exhaust yourself before the day begins. The goal is to complete 1 productive action before you surrender attention to consumption. Then enter the world deliberately. The protocol in the field. This is what the protocol looks like in real life. You slept badly. Do not demand a perfect routine. Use the minimum version. Stand, drink water, write your 3 lines, complete 1 small, useful action, reduce the intensity, keep the sequence. You only have 20 minutes. Use 2 minutes to establish the body. Use 3 minutes to write your duty, standard, and pressure. Use 10 minutes for 1 productive action. Use the remaining time to prepare to leave or begin your obligations. A work message is waiting. First ask whether it is genuinely urgent. If it is, open only that message. Identify the next action. Complete what is necessary. Do not drift into the entire inbox. Return to the protocol where possible. You miss the routine completely. Do not turn one missed morning into a broken week. Do not say, I will restart Monday. Resume the next morning. Then ask what failed. Was the phone beside the bed? Was the routine too long? Did you prepare nothing the night before? Change the environment. Do not shame yourself. Correct the system. The commanded person is not perfect. They recover quickly. Why it works. This protocol works because it reduces the number of decisions made while tired. The phone is moved, the first actions are prepared, the standard is written, the pressure is anticipated, the productive action is simple enough to complete. This is environmental design, it is pre-commitment, it is attention control, it is stoic preparation. You are not trying to create a perfect mood. You are building evidence that your conduct does not depend on one. Every morning you complete the sequence, you strengthen self-trust. You become less dependent on motivation, less available to distraction, more prepared for pressure, not because the day becomes easy, because you entered it with a chosen standard. The field test. Tomorrow morning, practice the first-hour command test. First, no recreational phone use during your first defined block. Second, establish the body, stand, drink, wash, breathe, move. Third, write one duty, one standard, and one expected pressure. Fourth, decide how you will respond when that pressure appears. Fifth, complete one useful action before entertainment or aimless consumption. Make breakfast, clean the kitchen, read, study, exercise, walk the dog, fold the laundry, prepare for work, choose what fits your life. Then at midday ask, was my attention steadier? Did I react less? Did I keep the standard? What nearly broke the protocol? Do not use the answers to judge yourself. Use them to improve the system. The command gained. A commanded morning does not guarantee a perfect day. Bad news can still arrive. Work can still pressure you. People can still disappoint you. You can still feel tired. You can still lose focus. But you become different, less dependent on motivation, harder to distract, more prepared, more consistent, more able to recover when the day changes. The world may still demand your attention, but it no longer receives it automatically. That is the command gained. Not a perfect routine, not an extreme wake-up time, not a performance for other people. A chosen first action, a chosen standard, a mind prepared before pressure arrives. Tomorrow morning, win the first hour. This is the Stoic Field Manual, ancient wisdom for modern pressure. Subscribe for practical Stoic protocols for modern life. Command is quiet. Practice it.